Hello, everyone. I'm trying to keep from screaming, but fuck, there I go, screaming. I'm in a slightly different location, and consequently, what is wrong with this thing? Can I? What the hell is wrong? Okay, is this flat on the ground or not? God damn it! Fuck! Ugh! Why are you not staying on the ground? I'm at a different location, yes, go row. And if I don't move a muscle, it might work. Anyway, Pareidolia for Dummies is what this is called. And what I do with my hard-earned money and scissors and some glue is I buy diplomas on eBay or see them kicking around the house. And then I think, how am I going to turn this into something fun? And would I want to take a scissors to this one? I'm not sure. I have no particular interest in Poughkeepsie High School. But what I do like a lot is how the calligrapher... God damn it! Shit. Okay, stay put. I'm really, really sorry about the swearing, but I really love how the calligrapher here tarted up those letters with little tiny, almost invisible lines. So anyway, Pareidolia is finding faces in things. It's easy to do if you look at a building and you see two windows and a door and a couple of steps down from the door. You might see a face, a nose and teeth, and the steps are teeth, the nose is the door, the two windows on either side are the eyes. You also can find them in diplomas. And what I have done here is I have created lovely little faces. And these were two diplomas from high school in Cambridge, Massachusetts, I think. And this was the sisters. So her name was Ida Weissman, and her diploma was glued onto a cardboard board, which is why the back of it is so rough. And her brother, whose name is Abraham Weissman, they used different glue or something, so it wasn't so rough when I took it off. So anyway, I have these two faces that I made out of their diploma. So the two O's here could have been from the word school, The two O's here could have been from a different word. The ear is a D. The two I's here are maybe two P's. Not really quite sure what I used for these. But let me see if I can fix this one. This one I damaged taking it off. So let me just grab a piece of diploma here that I can borrow. Go right there. And what I've been doing here is I've been taking this is about to fall again. Taking the diplomas out of the frames that they had been in because I can use those for something else. I'm trying to get rid of all the frames or many of the frames I have in my house by repurposing, reusing, reframing things. So this frame here, I'm putting all of my portraits, diploma portraits in gold frames, gold color frames. Some of them are old, some of them are new-ish, and I'm taking out whatever pictures were in the gold frames and putting these things in them instead. So this frame had a mat that had held this drawing I did of the equestrian statue of George Washington in the park in Boston. And it's the shadow, of course, on the grass rather than looking straight up. I quite often look down rather than up. Okay, this is going to really make me scream again. How do I make this stick? Can I use a clamp here? Maybe that'll work. So, rather than using glue on these things, I'm going to use tape. And hopefully the tape will come off easier if I need it. So, these had been side by side, but this map, rather this frame, the bottom edge is fatter than the top edge. So and when it was side to side, it was clearly not even. So I'm putting it this way. So here they are. They're not really talking to one another like they had been before, but now they are. So these two will go in this frame. I like his little crew cut here. So is anyone still watching me, or did I scare everyone off with my foul language? I probably scared people off with my foul language. Okay, this is going to go in here like that. Here's the frame. Do I need to clean the glass? Is the glass clean enough? I think the glass is clean enough. I know I could probably clean it better, but I'm not going to. But anyway, I will show you in a few short seconds some other faces. I just bought these things here. They're little framing, window glazing fasteners. So you stick them in the side. I can't show you because I knock everything over. And I take my file and I squeeze the thing into the, God damn it. And the wood is too hard. It doesn't work. Let's try this again. Come on. Oh, for God's sake. Well, this is bent. Try this one. This one is not bent. See if this works. I can also use nails. What were in this before were little spikes that looked like this, which maybe I can use again. See if these go in any better than the other ones. God damn it, they don't. Let's try this. I did have a staple gun, and I still have it somewhere in this house, that shoots little triangles, little diamond-shaped flat things that are used by window glazers to set windows into window panes. And in order for me to try to find that, I'd probably have to move about 600 things. Ta-da! Yay, one down. So I was just going to show you some other faces and how they came about. These three faces also came from the two diplomas I just showed you. And I had these three included in the other frame, but I couldn't remember what story I came up with respect to what these creatures were. So I will put these three, or maybe other small ones, together in their own little frame. So take a look at this one, how that one is made. And another one was this one. And I just love how expressive these faces are. It's really, really fun cutting up someone's diploma and turning them into faces. This one with the wild calligraphic hair. This person uses a lot of lipstick. That's for sure. This kind of looks like a Chinaman with the slanty eyes. I know I'm horrible. So these three, I do have lots of little tiny frames that I may use to individually frame these. You know, things that are sort of this size, and they can just exist on their own like that. But let's see. So another frame I realized I had hung it wrong, where again there was a thick end, which is usually the wider matte edge always goes on the bottom of a picture frame. Sometimes they can all be equal. Sometimes the top and the bottom are equal and the sides might be thinner. Sometimes you see maps like that, but there are most frames most times when you go to a frame store and you mat a picture or a photograph, they will suggest a wider bottom part of the mat. And this particular group, this was the central figure and the gold seal of the diploma, which you see here. The gold seal was, in this case, put in the guy's mouth. Now this guy is supposed to be dead, and putting a coin in the mouth of a dead person is what they did in Greece, and ancient Greece and Rome, and that was meant to pay for the trip to the underworld. You'd give it to Clarion, is that his name? Clarion? I looked it up today and already I forgot it. So this was the central figure, and I may put him back in the same map, the same frame he was in before, but just rotate everything. And then around him, again made in the same diploma, were all these different faces. And I thought, I was reminded of that Twilight Zone episode where the old guy is dying and he makes all of his relatives put on those masks, and their faces automatically turned into those horribly ugly looking people. So I may do the same thing here, where I will have the smaller faces surrounding the central dead guy. And the caption for this piece might be, "The only inheritance that anyone would have gotten was put in the dead guy's mouth, so no one gets anything." That might be how that one is, that caption, that title is made. Let me just see here. This was the mat. It was a double mat. So does this guy fit in the middle? He does. He can fit in the middle, and all these other ones can be around him. But I won't bother to do that now. But I just wanted to find out if it did work, and it does. So that's good. Does anyone have any questions? So the term that I use, the pareidolia term, is the psychological thing where you find faces in buildings and objects and diplomas. Pareidolia. So that'll be fixed. I just have to find a background piece of paper, whether I want it to be black or white or off-white. Oh, God, I have to stand up to read what you wrote here. Just a minute. How do you pull the faces from the diplomas? I'll show you. Maybe I'll try to make one right now, but let me show you some other ones. This one, these were all made from the same diploma again. I had the central figure. So this was maybe Dayton High School or something. The H. And she's crying. There's a little tear there. She's quite sad. And around her, in the frame that I took her out of, were these few different faces. So let me show you what they look like. So again, this is a T and a T. So you see it here, like the word this became, in this case, the eyes, with the heavy bags under the eyes. This one, an A and maybe two O's and something else, a Y maybe. This one was the teeth there. That might have been windows and a picture of a school, perhaps. And this, more windows in a school. You can see the windows there in the eye and the mouth. And this crazy Art Deco hairdo. And these were all made from the signatures that were used to sign the diploma, the principal of the school or the teacher or the headmaster. So that would be this part. So those turned into a face. Diplomas often have a lot of this curlicue business going on, and that makes really nice hair. It also makes nice wrinkles on a face. You saw it with the dead guy with the coin in his mouth. So they can be fun. This person has a little tiara going on. I thought this sort of reminds me of an American Indian with the sort of feather in the hat. Quite angry looking person there. And this one was a different one. So these will all be surrounding this very sad woman. And these might be, I might call these her inner demons. That might be the caption for this one. So let's take a look at some that I'm working on, or that I had been working on once upon a time. This one I can find a frame to, this poor guy. I mean, some of them are pretty funny looking, and with the sort of unibrow going on here. And what else came out of his diploma? This hairdo with the leaves, and this angry looking one there. So other elements that were in this diploma, other parts of this diploma are here. And it looks like I might have started. No, it looks like I didn't start anything. I was maybe looking for other faces. I mean, this could very well be the top of a head. So can I, if that's the top of the head, what can be the nose and the mouth? That could be a mouth, two lips. Could. High school. That could be something. Or I might just have it be this, just these two little faces rather than all this other stuff. So what could the caption be here? And it could be, no matter how he tried, he could not please his mother or his father. He does look sort of hapless like that, doesn't he? What are your thoughts? You'd like to buy a vowel. I need a vowel movement. That's what I need. So that's one. What do we have here? I don't know what went into. Oh, is this something I haven't finished yet? Okay, it looks like that was going to be a set of teeth. And this might have been a mustache. Set of teeth and a mustache. What do you think? I bet Scott Jones would like this. Scott Jones, the pen collector, pen dealer, has a mustache that he waxes. So this could be the nostrils. Or these could be two little beady eyes. This could be an eye. I've got another one for the eye. Let's just put those over there. So the hardest part to find, believe it or not, what do you think the hardest part to figure out is if you're trying to come up with a face made out of a diploma? The mouth. A large frame with lots of big heads I don't know how that works. I have made them using cardboard, and I can show you what they look like. I made a series of what I called hoarders, and I used boxes that bulk toilet paper came in during COVID when everyone was buying bulk toilet paper. And so I created a bunch of boxes, a bunch of faces using those things. And let me just see if I can find a picture of it. I sold it to someone and he hasn't picked it up yet. Let me just see if I can find hoarders. Thomas Karam. Okay. Cancel. Sent. Okay. Search Thomas, Thomas. Thomas Karen. To okay, so here's I took the hoarders, that's made of a Kleenex box, and this is about maybe 10 or 12 inches tall. Another one from a Kleenex box. And these looked pretty good because they all were the same color and the same sort of bold lettering. So they worked well together. Whereas a diploma, I don't think they'd work so well if I made a bunch of faces. Okay, that'll come in handy. What else is going on here? Go down, nothing here. Nola Bernice Carter. So these are all things that came from her, I think. No, these are all different. I don't know where these came from. They're all in one thing together, so they must. Oh, someone, Holy Matrimony. So Taylor Volger, Edmund Hayes Taylor Volger, married Mary Evelyn Foster. Our marriage bond. Some people say, how can you do this? How can you destroy such beautiful artifacts? If that person's grandkids threw their shit away or put them on eBay, I don't feel I have anything to say about what I'm doing with them. Of all the people in the world that should care, it should have been they, and clearly they didn't, so I don't care either. What's this going to be? So this Annie Hunterson, is that a T? Hun Hunferson? Is that an F? What do you think? Hunterson or Huntferson? Again, they often will have them penciled on the backside somewhere when they rolled up. And I'll make sure they give it to the right person. So this one will probably turn into something with lots of crazy hair. And I cut this apart. I have two of these diplomas, Boston University, and it's in Latin. And one of them was on this very brittle paper. You can just see that it's just cracks. And the other one was on nice paper that doesn't crack. And I thought I would make two. Otherwise they're identical. And I could make sort of two versions of the same person. One where I would cut out carefully the parts, and the other one I'd just sort of crack and try to build it the same way. I thought that might be kind of fun. Looks like an F. Needs moisturizer. Okay, what is this one? Indianapolis. I don't think I turned this into anything. I don't think that. What I might do when I have something that I don't know what I want to do with, I can make another hat. Show you the hat I made here. I wear this when I'm at trivia. And so this was made of a bunch of different diplomas glued together, and I put it on my head. And I think it looks pretty sweet. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, come on. There. So here I am at Open Studios wearing that hat. And I'm calligraphing someone's name or drawing something on the iPad or doing some nonsense, downloading porn. Who knows what I was doing. Don't know what that's going to be. Don't know what that's going to be. I'm trying to find some that I've started. Thinking I might finish it here for you. City of Mabel Sears. I know I started a cat. Yeah. Again, these are the reason that these are all cut up. I've already made faces, at least one face out of these already. And whether I need to make more, I don't really know. whether I do or not. Okay, this started to be, it looks like this started to be two eyes, maybe. Why is that in a separate bag? Lucille Boundy. It was inside here, so I'll just leave it there. This was one that didn't really turn out. This was some Sunday school, Lutheran Sunday school, and around the border had places that you'd get stickers, like merit badges. And I just, maybe I'll use this to make another hat. 7th influence year, whatever that means. I think 7th year, and the thing was maybe being an influencer. Is that what that was about? I think influencers are a modern thing. Maybe not. 8th. One of the things I discovered in buying these things is I often will see the same naked lady with the lamp of learning, you know, at the top on 2 different diplomas, the identical figures, but one is from Poughkeepsie and the other one is from Miami, or the border will be the same. And so you would go to the diploma company, which back in the olden days, I guess there's probably a door-to-door salesman going from every school, and he'd have a sample book, and you could, oh, I really like the border of this one, or I really like this lettering, but I don't like the naked lady. Can you have it be a naked man? So look at this guy. This old man teaching geometry teaching the Pythagoras theorem to a little long-haired girl, I guess. That's Epstein, and this is on his island, right? What's this like? Now you're probably saying, Pierre Gustafson, why don't you just throw this shit away? You know, there's a little Cupid that's learning how to draw. For some reason, Cupid has to know how to draw. Grammar, arithmetic, geography, writing, United States, Constitution of the United States and Wisconsin. Look at that lettering, signature there. Sterling, Mr. Sterling. I'm not finding that cat, am I? I'll look at what you're writing in a second. Just stand up here so I can see. Those are two of my favorites. The tablecloth. God damn it! The thing I just framed fell over. Did it break? No. I thought I had more things that were partially done. Well, this could be in a nice hat. Look at all these gold seals. Maybe I'll leave that one out. I'm making a new hat. Let me show it to you here, if I can get out of my own way. It's going to be quite cool. Interesting if I can get it to work. Come on. Damn it. So the sides here will be eventually built with lots of really dark lettering like this, sort of going around it. And then all of these things are lines that came from the skinny parts, like, this. I'll just take half of this X height, or maybe just the X height. So you'll see these sort of, I want it to look like wiring and how your brain works, how the little synapses going from one brain part to the other, and it's going to just be over layers on top of layers on top of layers. And then you'll look down and see how my brain works on drugs. So that's my thought on that one. And sometimes it might just be this double line here. That might be all you see without any sort of differentiation to it. What are your thoughts? And that little doober right there, that could be, like in this one, I wanted the X's and O's to be sort of where the things come together. And so I have lots of O's and little asterisks that I can use for that as well. This also would make a nice skinny line of the stripes there. Let me see what you said, go row. Sorry, again, it's hard for me to see what you're saying because I'm just trying to see. I thought I had a cat that I was working on, but he must be in a different spot. Let's see what you're saying. Go row. Just a minute. Stand up here. Oh, okay. Good to see you as well, everyone. So I think what I'll do is I'll turn this thing off. And one of the things I got a bill from StreamYard for $500 a year to do this. I thought it was $30 a month. Evidently, no. So am I going to continue to do this or not? Or am I going to ask for donations again? I did get some people donating me some money, which was nice. But I don't want necessarily to have to ask for donations, but I do think that maybe I should again. Yeah, maybe I will. I'm sure that there are many people who would be more than happy to give me $50 or maybe even 100 because they enjoy the factoids that they get from me. You know, if I was better at doing what I do, I might, like other people, get funding from YouTube itself. But I don't have I don't think I have enough people watching me to warrant that. Now those are two eyes right there, staring right at me. Kind of like the decaying paper here. I don't know what that's from. It could have been little bookworms or something that attack it from, if this was in a frame. I've had framed diplomas where you see little dead bugs from 100 years ago. They get in there and they start looking for food and they starve to death. So anyway, what did you say here? I'm going to just take this off and see what you said. Oops. Now what have I done? Here we go. Okay, we'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone. See ya. How do we...